Before we start the stream today, the cast of FetchQuest would like to express our support for the Black Lives Matter movement and protests, and disgust at the blatant displays of police brutality and the apparent inability, unwillingness, or opposition that world and community leaders have shown toward fixing a system disproportionately stacked against Black people. Please remember this is not just for George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and the countless others lost over the years to police brutality, but also for those who will still live with us through this hellish reality, whether or not we support them. A link to a collection of resources will be posted in the chat. Stay safe, y'all, and know that we stand with you.
Hooray. Third time's the charm, and I'm sorry I didn't turn on the sound.
Don't do it again.
No.
No.
Last time, we fought a vampire. And he tried to poison a bunch of us with his very metal teeth. But I kicked the shit out of him. No thanks to you all. Except maybe Kara, because she actually killed it. But yeah, we killed the vampire. Completed our task. Immediately after that, we decided to have a few conversations about the dragon that we have in our care right now and other things that could be off ahead, until we left in the middle of the night once more back north so that we could go take care of the lake that we still have to do, along with a set of ruins that have some sort of I forget what it was, some sort of fauna that we need, or not fauna, plant life that we needed to get. And that is where we left off.
Excellent. So, I don't believe you guys were heading out yet. You were just you were about to leave, right?
I think we had already head out, because I wanted to stop at the mayor's office, but I handed off the Medusa's head to Johnny, and then we were just leaving. I don't think, unless anybody else had anything else to do.
All right, cool.
Nope.
Everyone's headed back to the castle. You guys do get back to the Fallen Keep. There's really no disturbances along the way. When you guys get back in, the two Johnnies at the gate just let you guys in and then close rank behind you guys.
Well, we can either head straight for the lake, but I thought it would be better for us to go to the library quickly, make sure no one is there that we need to see, and maybe ask around if they know what's in that lake, so we can not get deceived by whatever wants to get through that door.
That'd be a good idea.
Then let us go.
Excellent. You guys do travel to the library. It's relatively easy to find. So there do seem to be multiple floors to this library out. It's in one of the, it's in the southeastern tower. Multiple floors to it, although as of right now, you guys only have access to the first floor. When you guys walk in, walls are surrounded in books, bookshelves stacked up. Everything's nice and neat. You do see that there are a few people sitting in front of tables with books piled up on the tables. Some are sitting in the chairs with a few on the tables next to them. About in the middle of the room, sitting in the middle of a circular desk, is a Johnny that is in it's soft green robes.
I will approach the Johnny. Can I just take a look around as I'm going? If there's anyone that looks like this head scholar that I'd notice, or anyone that looks suspicious, since he seemingly seems to change appearance from time to time.
Sure. Go ahead and throw a perception check for me.
Sure.
So, as you're looking around, you are looking, your gaze goes up to the upper floor, and for a second, you swear you see Eric looking down on you, and then the person who looks like Eric disappears behind some shelves.
if you all don't mind, I'm going to have a look upstairs. Maybe you can find something from this Johnny here. Take a second. But I'm gonna book it, try to get upstairs without making a scene.
Are you trying to sneak upstairs?
No, I'm just trying to not look like I'm running after this person, but also trying to move quickly.
Cool. Yeah, that's fine. So you kind of do that little hurry walk towards the stairs when vampire, right when you're about to go up the stairs, the vampire approaches you. Pardon me. You're the visitors, right?
Yes. Yes, what can I do for you?
Well, the upper floors are restricted access. When you are more proven in the court, you will receive slips that you can show us. Do you happen to have a slip, actually? Sorry, it was rude for me to assume.
No, you were correct in your assumption. I was not aware that the upper floors were restricted. There was, however, someone I saw up above, who looked like someone I know. His name is, Eric. You wouldn't happen to know an Eric?
Perhaps if you described them, I could go and take a look.
Quickly give a description of what Eric looks like, because I barely remember.
Yes, of course. Well, I will, if I can find Eric, I will send him down to you.
That would be much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Of course. And he goes up the stairs.
And I'll head back over towards the circular area.
Cool. So when he's walking off to go try and find Eric, what are you guys doing?
Well, do we know what the lake's name is?
No one's told you what the lake's name is yet.
Okay. I'm going to approach the Johnny then.
Johnny looks up at you.
Hello, do you have any books or records on the nearby lake?
It takes out a piece of paper and writes down which lake.
Oh boy. And Zahn took the list and I'm going to look to the other two. Do you know what the lake might be called? Okay. It's you're gonna turn back to the Johnnies. It's the sealed lake, the underground one.
What's the one that we're supposed to be looking for this plant in? What the fuck is the name of the plant?
Oh no.
The Johnny nods and opens up a drawer and starts shuffling through it, and then writes down a series of essentially writes down the locations of books that you can find. Then writes the Undersea and underlines it, and then slides the paper back to you, Jovan. There's about 6 books that you guys can find.
Okay. The Undersea. Thank you. It's going to take the list back to the others. I figured it might be easy. Split up 2 books each.
Yeah. The librarian Johnny nods and then sits back in its chair.
They weren't made with volume control.
Hey.
It's on or off.
I did not think of that, but apparently so. Okay. First books. So while Zahn is dealing with that, I'll show Lucar and double the list.
At about this point, Zahn does come back to the group. He wasn't gone for too long.
How did your business fare?
The upstairs is off limits, so not well, but eventually it will be fine.
Ah. You think that's where he's hiding out?
Most likely. But I was able to talk to someone who might send him our way if we need him. If he's up there, if they can find him. But not exactly super important just yet.
Yes. Well, I've
Let us,
got information on the Undersea, which is apparently our next destination.
Yes. Let us get those books then, and then find a nice quiet spot.
All right, so yeah, it honestly doesn't take you too long to find these books, and you guys do find a little nice nook that has ample seating. It's by a fireplace. There's some covered by the fireplace. There's some unlit oil lamps, just in case you need to get a little bit better look. There's some nice overstuffed chairs, warm spots on the floor, some mats where you can sit down and read. Just a nice little reading nook.
There's no one around watching us or otherwise.
As far as you guys can tell, if you'd like to make a perception, if anyone would like to make a perception check, okay.
Sure.
Paranoid.
I am.
And as far as you guys can tell, there is no one around, just watching you guys.
Well, I don't expect us to read all 6 of these books. I don't think we'll need to know all information, but knowing what's down there and what's pertinent information we need to know about it would be important. So, let's get to work.
Yep.
In the meantime as well, though, I'm going to get by Kara and remind me, before I actually ask this, have you shown me the sword at all yet?
The sword piece?
Yes.
Once.
I don't remember if you did. Okay, you did.
Once.
I think that was at the point you were threatening to kill her for being a warlock.
What do you mean? That doesn't sound like Zahn.
Never.
Fuck, I spilled water on myself.
Sure.
So, I know we need to get all of this Jethro situations and things sorted out, but I was hoping that I could see the sword for a bit, being that, that's kind of our main task here, at least ours.
For what purpose? I've tried reading it. I can't.
You said it pointed you in a direction, did it not?
Yep.
I'd like to try to figure it out. Where we were told another piece would be, so...
Yeah, I haven't checked the magical compass in a little while. I'm gonna fish it out of my backpack.
Sure. So you bring out the Velirine box that it is stored in.
It's
I'm gonna open
probably
it up.
a good idea to put it in the bag of holding soon anyways, just in case. It seems pretty important to not just be lying around on our persons. It's... If you want it on your persons, it's fine. It's just...
Your bag broke before.
That was with the dagger.
Okay, but I don't want to risk this getting lost and not having another piece yet.
I mean, if that's what you wish to do, it's fine. I respect your opinion in this matter, at least.
Make sure the dragon doesn't eat it then.
That
Yeah.
is also very important.
Well, it stays in the box, so
Okay.
And the dragon ate plates. I don't think a
He-
box will matter.
I don't know. He doesn't have hands to open it with, I guess. I don't know. I'm
It
gonna.
doesn't have to open it. You can just eat the box.
I mean, dragons do have hands.
But, like... Anyway, where is Noodle, by the way? I'm gonna make sure he's not looking at me while I'm opening this box.
He's asleep.
Okay, good boy. I'm gonna open the box and take out the sword piece.
So in your hand, you can feel it tugging. It's kind of like vibrating. You feel sometimes a stronger tug towards the north, sometimes a stronger tug towards the south. Jesus, talking all day, guys. But it doesn't. It seems to be like kind of almost as if it's being pulled between the two places.
I'd forgotten about that. Forgot there were two more.
More than one piece.
We must be way off, though, if it keeps switching back and forth. Or at least somewhere in the middle.
That's actually kind of... I wouldn't say terrifying, but not what I expected, being that we were told somewhere in Moral. But...
Well, he speculated somewhere in Moroth.
True.
But they did not say that it couldn't be moved.
True.
And also, he could be a lying piece of shit, so...
Not that I am not completely within his trust. I wouldn't exactly just immediately dismiss him, being that he's obviously very powerful and wouldn't have reason to tell us if he didn't have a reason, obviously. And we have no reason to think that he's evil right now, so...
I mean, anybody that'll treat a person as a road bump, kind of evil in my book, but you know.
Well, dealing with the problems of gods right now, they might see one death as just an inconvenience, where it's much more important to us. Obviously, it's upsetting, but when he is talking about hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people dying, it's probably better to just continue on this path and get it done before we just assume that he is playing us.
Clarification question. Has Zahn seen the pictures?
Has Zahn seen the pictures? No, I don't believe Zahn has. No, Zahn hasn't.
I haven't either.
Oh, fuck, am I the only one still alive that has seen the pictures?
You are the only one still alive.
I mean, Damagos hasn't seen the pictures either.
Yeah, because it happened after, I think. And like right before Garen went off the deep end. Oh, shit. Fuck.
Either way, can I see the sword for a moment? I just want to try to see if I can ascertain what sort of pull it has and if there's a method to it.
I'm gonna put it in his hand. Does it have to be touching like skin, or is because he's always armored?
Well, so Zahn does have it in his hand. Zahn, you don't feel any pull.
Just concentrate on it for a bit.
Throw an Arcana check for me.
Sure.
So, from what you know about Kara, and it's obvious that this item is a magical item, and your only source of magic is more divine, it could be that because you don't use arcane magic, you're not feeling the effects of it.
Interesting. All right. Well, I don't feel anything, but if I'm thinking about it, it's possible that it's because I'm not exactly as magically inclined as some of the others here. maybe you can try to figure it out. Which one's closer? Which one's... Are we even close to one of these items, if you can sense that sort of thing with this?
I want to test his theory. Damokos, come here. I'm not going to cut you, I swear. Here, just
By the
hold
way,
this.
holding this dagger, it really feels like holding it. It really feels like at any moment it could slip in your hand and cut, and it doesn't seem like something you'd want to be cut with. I mean, that's unless you're into it. No king shame.
Without actually taking the dagger, I'm just gonna like touch the dagger or the piece.
It's definitely vibrating. But as to what direction it's pulling into, you'd have to be holding it more to be able to tell.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it and hold it carefully at the most blunt section of this piece.
So you can feel it, although it has no physical vibration, you can feel it being pulled between north and south, although it doesn't really seem like it's pulling. If anything, it seems like it's pulling very slightly stronger north. But only slightly.
I feel it. It seems to be pulling more just a little bit towards the north, though.
Alright, well, that's what I assumed, and that just sort of confirms my suspicion.
Put it back in the box.
We should check it again once we're going to the north to those ruins that we had been tasked to go out to. For now, we should actually pay attention to these books.
Okay. So, everyone is reading. Go ahead, give me an investigation check. Let's see what you guys can decipher from these texts, because they are essentially kind of more like research paper style stuff rather than, just like, hey, by the way, here's this.
I haven't rolled a below a 15 tonight, and that's really worrying me. That the minute I'm going to actually need a roll, I'm going to die.
Don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, so these are pretty thick. From what you can get, Zon and Kara, what you guys can get is that it's called a lake, but it seems to be a lot more vast than that. There are creatures that live inside of it. It's not a peaceful lake. There's a lot of violence that occurs in it. And there seems to be a small race of people that worship something that lives out in the water. They call it the Great Devourer. There's a lot of shipwrecks scattered throughout the lake. And they see totems. And then one was like, one of the papers ended with, my next mission, I'm going to go out and fully interact with these fish-like creatures to see how they worship the Great Devourer. And then there's no follow-up to that. Damokos and Joven, what you guys are reading more. It's more of the biology of the lake. There are apparently two different types of mer people that live there, and there are the fish people. But honestly, it starts going into in-depth, just straight up biological assumptions and theories that kind of start to seem a little bit out there. So it doesn't really seem to be that much helpful.
All right.
Is there anything specific about what we may have run into the last time we were there? Or does it seem like it could be just one of these merfolk or fish creatures?
Honestly, all of these things, like from what you get from the paper, is that these investigations were done from afar, most likely aided with some kind of invisibility spell in order to not get seen by any of these creatures. Because there was a group that was like, as soon as I get back, I'm going to be writing up a paper about interacting with these beings, and then there's no paper. So take that as you will. So it really seems like this is more of a from afar. You can't see anything directly from it, although a lot of it seems to be worshiping something called the Devourer, which they got from like wooden planks that were set up with the word Devourer carved into it, almost like a shrine at certain parts of the lake.
Right. Okay. Does the task that we're given say how much blood ward we actually need?
You need about God, I'm so bad at measurement. You need a couple handfuls of blood wort. It doesn't really go into specifics, just says a couple handfuls.
All right. Based on all of this, I probably should have thought of this before, but do we have any sort of way to swim under the water uninhibited? And what would that be?
Alter self, but only on me. Unfortunately.
That's extremely dangerous. Obviously, Joven can swim forever, but...
I mean, I can change one of you... Actually, hold on, let me double check. No, I can't. It's either change one of you or shape change myself.
Alright, that tells me that we need to go get some supplies, which is what I expected, because I didn't think any of you had anything like that.
Yeah.
And from what you described, Joven, from your book, we may want to look into some form of invisibility, if we can do that. I'm not sure if one of you also can cast a spell like that on multiple people, because if you can, that would also be helpful and save us some money.
Unfortunately, I think my spell nature is more on the elemental side of things.
Destructive side, got it.
Out of character, I could... If we sleep, I can take water breathing. If we sleep, I can take
Out
water
of character, if we sleep and I don't pick any 2 elemental spells, I could take invisibility, I think.
I mean, you guys know your capabilities, so if you want to discuss like prepping different spells, that's perfectly fine.
I mean, that's up to you guys.
Greater invisibility is a 4th level spell. Water breathing is a 3rd level spell.
I mean, I can move in different ways, to be honest. One of them is definitely swimming and breathing underwater. Another is being able to climb surfaces. Another is being able to jump further. I just need some time to acclimate my body to it.
Well, swimming is definitely what we need right now. And if you say need time for that, we can spend the night. I still would like to get some supplies just in case, so we're not only betting on these spells.
It's a useful little trick.
Because I also would rather like to avoid genocide of a people, just because we're invading their territory for a couple handfuls of one herb.
So for going underwater, I should switch my spells anyway.
You don't want to bring all lightning spells?
I am currently mostly using not lightning spells, which is the problem.
I mean,
I need my lightning back.
I also don't know what you plan to do with your pet, but this seems like the opposite of the area we should bring him in. I don't know if he can even swim, and if we're trying to not attract attention going down here from anything that might be there, the very loud, very rambunctious creature probably seems like a bad idea. Not that
You're
he isn't a bad
literally-
idea in most situations.
You're literally a walking wind chime.
Oh, I know. But unless you would like to be devoured by the thing called the Devourer, you probably need me to come with you.
Look at
You're
you.
going to be
I
able to
mean-
swim with your armor.
Not well, but that's why I'm hoping that we can be invisible or breathe underwater, so I can just sink to the bottom, grab a few handfuls of this herb, and then we can leave before anything really gets in our way. Not that I don't expect something to try to get in our way, but if everything goes right, we won't have to worry about that.
it might
also-
be.
Noodle could be a dolphin.
That's
Are you able to be going to be able to keep track of a dolphin? What happens when we're about to breach from land? Are you going to be able to keep up with him to pull him back onto land?
I never said anything about letting him go. So, unless one of you wants to be a dolphin.
I mean, the other option is to leave Noodle here. And that might be just as dangerous.
Yeah, considering that there is potentially fucking. Do I know Eric is here? Or potentially
No.
here?
Zahn has not mentioned that at all.
I mean, no, but I don't want anybody to poke at him. He's not gonna like it. And if we
Weird
leave
how
him-
the thing that I told us not to take is becoming more and more complicated with every situation.
We'll take it, and if worse comes to worse, we'll have one more body to throw at the problem.
Can you command this thing to actually attack things? Is it even useful in a fight? Or is it going to become a liability once it gets eaten?
Well, if it's a liability, then that'll be one less thing to worry about.
I mean, Joven's gotten bitten by him.
It hurt. Quite substantially. The point being, however, should we find a situation where it's us or Noodle to survive, I'm sure we can make the right choice. We've done it before. Gotta look over at Zahn.
Oh, not responding to that at all. We're talking in circles at this point. I'm going to try to go find some supplies if you wish to come with me. I assume you're just going to bring this thing, because I don't know what you're going to do if you want to just leave it somewhere. It's going to run rampant if we do that. If you can keep control of it while we're down there, so we can attempt to not be obviously visible, that would be helpful. But anyways, I'm gonna go find some supplies.
I think I'll come with you. I wouldn't mind checking out the town. All I've seen is this castle and the lake.
So-
There.
Who's going where?
I am looking for potions or scrolls, anything that seems useful in the situation. Mostly invisibility and water breathing.
Well, if you're looking for scrolls, honestly, the librarian Johnny might be the best way to go. But as you do stand up, you notice that the vampire, obviously a vampire. I mean, who else is in here? Vampire you spoke to is standing very politely out of earshot of the group and looking at you.
I'll head over to him.
Your guest left you this, and he hands you a folded sheet of paper and then walks away to tend to some of the bookshelves.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna read that note.
The note says, I'll just send it to you. Go ahead, what's everyone else doing?
To be honest, I would like to go into town or wherever. I'd like to buy an explorer's pack and some extra rope, if possible. I've mostly just had the armor and clothes, and not really any of my other belongings. So getting like a backpack and a bedroll and things like that would be nice for when we aren't staying in a lavish palace and we do have to start trekking back to Moroth. Oh, and I'm also going to be keeping an eye out for any stores that sell or trade in lumber.
So I'm sorry, you said you're walking around the Fallen Keep looking for this, or are you asking somebody for directions?
I'll ask someone for directions.
Of course.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I'm just going to ask them if a place that I could go to buy Explorer's Pack, and if they know anywhere that might trade in lumber.
Sure. So you approach.
Okay. Sorry. Excuse me. Do you know anywhere I could buy simple supplies, things like a rope, bedrolls, torches, things of that nature?
I'm sorry, I blinked out. Did you say you were approaching a vampire or the librarian Johnny?
I would assume a vampire, since I'm assuming the librarian Johnny is mostly just concerned about what's in this library.
Cool. Well, you could. There's really no shops that would sell that sort of thing. You could make a request. You could. The supplies you could find them. Out in the kitchens. Specifically the lumber. We did have two people here who were selling some lumber and other wood stuff, but they left a while ago. Now with this, honestly, I wouldn't know. You'd have better luck in one of the surrounding towns than the Fallen Keep, I believe.
Not a problem. Thank you very much for your help.
Of course.
Do you know if those two might have stuck around in one of the towns outside of the Fallen Keep? Or did they depart for other lands, as it were?
I'm afraid I didn't ask them their intentions. But they were headed a bit south, I believe. At least that's the direction they seem to be going in.
Thank you. I've heard of some remarkable woodworkers, and I've kind of been a bit on their trail, as it were.
Yes, they were quite good. Forgetting their name. Oh, well, wasn't important. I'm sure you'll find them.
Well, thank you, and I'll make sure the next time I head out of the Fallen Keep to try and acquisition some supplies. Thank you very much.
Of course. He kind of takes an awkward step away and goes back to looking through the shelves.
I'm going to go back and meet up with the others. Just all the supplies I'd need, I'd have to get outside of the Fallen Keep. So probably make a detour to one of the towns nearby.
So Zahn is reading something that a vampire gave him. Kara, Damakos, what are you guys doing?
Damakos is going to be browsing the books to see if there is any research or ways of finding out what the perception of his sorcerer abilities are up here.
Go ahead and are you asking the librarian or are you just searching on your own?
Just searching. I don't want to. I mean, I'm not
Fair
glowing
enough.
right now.
Go ahead and make an investigation check to see how well you can get through this library.
God damn it.
You're having a tough time, but whether that's because those books will be up in a restricted section or you're just not having a good luck deciphering this system, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Okay.
I kind of want to find out what the Devourer is. Honestly.
You gonna ask the librarian or just search the books?
I'll ask a librarian. I don't care. I'll bother a vampire.
So the only one that seems to be directly a librarian. Jesus, I've been talking all day, guys. A librarian seems to be the Johnny sitting behind the desk. You don't see any other Johnnies, and the vampires seem to be more focused on either collecting books to read. So you can't really tell if they're just librarians that are reading on the job or just vampires checking out books.
Fair. I'd read on the job if I were a librarian.
Same.
I'm gonna go see the Johnny about information on the Devourer.
So you approach, the Johnny kind of leans forward in the chair a little bit.
Hi. Do you have any books like something called the Devourer or anything like that? Sea deities, sea creatures. I love that you can make a skeleton look confused.
So the skeleton takes out a piece of paper and writes down. Unfortunately, the Devourer is in a restricted section. As far as we are aware, the Devourer is not necessarily a sea deity, but I'm unable to procure books for you at this time unless you have a slip.
Well, that's perfectly fine. Just wanted to know a little bit more about what we were getting into. But thank you.
The librarian nods and then sits back.
I do like it better when they don't talk. Yeah. Just gonna go back to a little area with all our books and dragon.
All right, hands on. You finish reading the note. Whether you want to share it with the group or not, that's...
Oh, it's fine for now. I assume that end bit is intentional.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I'm just gonna go find a Johnny outside of the library.
Cool. It doesn't take you long to find one. Kind of standing guard at one of the doors with a pike and short, small round shield.
I'm looking for a place.
Greetings, citizen.
Oh god, this one talks. Hello. I'm looking for a place to purchase potions or supplies, or some place where I can requisition them.
So he kind of looks at you, jaw clicks shut, and you can almost hear some sparks going on. And then his jaw opens, and you can hear Eric's voice.
Oh, God.
Welcome to the Wandering Shepherd. How can I help you today?
We need to have a serious talk at some point. Because this is fucking weird. Anyways, since I actually need something, are you selling anything that actually works in the regards of invisibility and water breathing potions?
I see you're interested in invisibility and water breathing. How interesting. Follow me and I'll show you to my wares. And the skeletal guard immediately abandons its duties and starts walking down the hall.
I hate this so much. I hate this.
So eventually he leads you to a storage room. He kind of opens it and just kind of discards his pike and round shield on the ground as he walks in the back. And he pulls out, like, he starts moving stuff around and then pulls out of an obviously this spot was obviously hidden away, a crate, and puts it down and pulls out 3 vials that they're about this big, but almost like in the shape of large teardrops. They have a murky blue liquid inside. These potions are for water breathing. Asterix.
Did you say asterisk? What does that mean?
That is an unknown command. The price for these is, the skeleton kind of looks you up and down a little bit. 20 gold pieces each.
1, that's very cheap. And 2, did you just discriminate against me? I'll take all 3. And
Excellent.
60 gold pieces.
He slides over the water breathing. This way, please. And he puts like the crate back and puts everything back the way it was and leaves, leaving behind his pike and a small round shield.
God, I hate this. I hate this so much. This weird fucking necromancy system kills me. I'll just follow him where I assume he's taking me now to another hidden location.
So he leads you back into the library where you guys see a armored Johnny without a weapon or shield leading a very upset looking Zon across the library to where he goes into almost like a cranny of where a bunch of books are kind of like, these are a little bit less taken care of. They kind of seem more like jumbled onto the shelf with no real order. He pulls a book down and the shelf slowly twists and he leads you into another storeroom and he pulls out a seemingly empty vial, a potion of invisibility, 100 gold pieces.
There's only 1.
Would you like more?
I guess so, yes, if you have more.
Well, follow me. And he starts to put the crate back.
My God.
You're gonna just
Yeah, I'm
cool.
Just continuing on this rambling train wherever it's taking me.
So after a few moments, you guys see the skeleton now holding a empty glass vial, walking across the library with a slightly more upset looking Zon. Do you guys do anything as you see these 2 walk by?
Zon, where are you going?
Vampire
I'm
goes,
shopping.
I'm gonna. Vampire fucking shushed me real quick.
I'll go check on him.
Yeah, he looks like he's about to probably rip that poor skeleton's head off. So, you know,
Never.
If you guys can find out anything more about the Undersea, let me know.
off limits.
And I'm gonna go follow Zon. Just casually walk on over.
So, the Johnny leads both Joven and Zon outside, towards the back of one of the walls on the outside of the fallen keep. It's taking you about. You've been walking with this Johnny for about 10 minutes now, where he takes out a piece of the non-black stone part of the wall, sets it down, and pulls out another empty vial.
What?
200 gold pieces.
Wait. Is
Is
that
2 all you have?
Yes.
I will hand him 2 platinum.
He takes it and hands you the 2 vials, then picks up the stone, and the platinum seems to disappear. And then the skeleton, if skeletons could blink in confusion, this one would. It kind of looks around. Good evening, citizen.
Good evening.
Seem to have been misplaced.
Yes,
Have
you
a wonderful
have.
day. Follow the rules. Remember, rules are for fun, and it just stomps off.
Can I just make a quick check and actually look at these glass vials and make sure there's something inside of them? Like, if I
Yes.
jiggle it around, can I actually feel the weight of something moving inside of it?
Sure, make an investigation check.
Sure. Yeah.
So you shake it, and you're not seeing anything in there.
Joven, please make sure there's something inside of this before I
Oh,
freak out that I just gave someone 2 platinum for nothing.
that was Eric's voice?
Yeah, don't pay attention to that right now.
I'm gonna take one of the vials and I'm gonna try and hook it over, hold it up into the light, try to shake it near my ear to see if I hear any liquid in it.
Sure, go ahead and make an investigation check. Yeah, you can tell it's very slight, but when you do shake it up in the light, there's a slight distortion. There just seemed to be liquid inside of it, although the
Well, I'll
liquid
be
itself seems
darned.
to be invisible.
There is something in there.
Good. I just had to make sure. You can take that one, I guess, then.
Okay.
I'll go meet up with the rest of everybody else.
I still have so many questions.
Questions that I cannot answer.
So, what are you two? Are you two still studying while they are off following the Eric Johnny?
By this point, I think Amicus would approach the librarian Johnny. I'm not sure if you do or not, but I was wondering if you had any books or research notes on the rune sorcerers.
It flips through some papers and then pulls one out and writes down. Actually, it writes down on the top, needs a slip, and slides it over. And it looks like this is a note that it's written before. It says, rune magic is very rare and considered dangerous. It's not advised. You're not able to look at this without proper permission.
Okay. Thank you.
And then the Johnny leans back. It's been leaving these notes out. The only one that it's put away so far is the one about the rune child magic. The other notes are just sitting on the desk.
Okay.
Cool. So the group meets back up. Very upset Zahn, very confused Joven.
That is pretty much their natural state of being, but like,
I mean, fair.
So we
what
had
happened?
We
I
had
will
a
hand
run-in.
I'll hand a water. Sorry, I'll hand a watering post in the car, and then Damakos. Now you can continue.
I didn't catch that, but we ran into a skeleton that sounded like Eric and seemed to act like Eric until a certain point. Then it went back to being a normal Johnny. And I'm very confused about that.
Didn't we leave him on the other side of the river in the drug cave?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the last I remember back in Kel. Moroth is south, right?
Wait, did these potions come from the Eric skeleton?
They came from a wall in the
And you-
castle.
And you want us to
From them.
drink them?
You have spells that can make you change, so it's up to you. But those were the 3 that I got, and I know Joven can breathe underwater, so that's what you got.
I thought he can't breathe underwater anymore.
Said he
Wait, do we
could.
know that?
Part
I
of
don't-
my changes seems to have increased my power.
Oh, so you can still.
I can breathe and swim as agilely as I can move on the land. If I spend an hour acclimating to it.
You have to spend an
Like-
hour?
In the water?
No, just
Okay.
beforehand.
Good.
Same for
I was
climbing.
about to have a goddamn conniption.
Joven standing in like an inch high of water.
Would have completely ruined any sort of plan I had.
Essentially, what some might refer to as a short rest.
Sure. But anyways, you don't have to use that if you don't want to. I just, paid for it with my own money, so that if you were to want to go underwater without having to turn into a fish, you could, do something about that. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm sorry, I am very agitated. That
No,
Johnny was not fun
it's-
to work with.
That's fine, Zahn. I was actually mulling over the options of maybe taking a spell that might be able to help us in that, since water is an elemental basis.
I guess you are right, yes.
Regardless, you do know we're going to have to fight our way down there, right?
We don't have to fight. No one ever said we did.
I
These
mean,
people
the
that
last group-
research these things didn't have to fight down there.
I mean,
That's why I
They
gave
said
you an
they
invisibility
weren't.
potion that I also have. We can turn ourselves invisible now. If one of you can change over your spells like you said you could, so that you could become invisible, that would be helpful as well. And then once we can do that, we can all slip underneath the ground as quickly as we can. Drink our water breeding potions if need be, or only one of us if need be, and find Blood Ward and run.
I'm just saying. They seem to be camping out near the stairs that we need to take.
Drink our invisibility potions before we even go down. They might see the door opening, but if they can't see us, we could quickly slip by them.
They could also wander out into this to keep.
That's also
We could also have a
entirely-
Johnny seal the door behind us if we need be, but that would also lock us down there, so...
Exactly. And how much do you want to bet that if one of these things does... I don't want to assume that these things can steal voices. I want to assume that they can't, or mimic voices. But I also don't want to think of what would happen if one of them knows what a Johnny is and can just say, Johnny, unlock the door.
Probably
'Cause I
why
don't
there
think
aren't
the
any
Johnnies
down
are.
there.
Because I don't think the Johnnies are smart enough to distinguish an order.
That's fair.
An enemy is present that blocks our progress, so we should remove that enemy.
If there's something right at the stairs, sure, I will accept that it most likely needs to be pushed out of the way, whether by force or not. But all I'm saying is we don't need to cause a huge amount of violence for no reason if we don't
Oh,
have
I
to.
agree. Once we're cleared of that hurdle, we can go and descend further to the sea and then take these potions.
Good,
to
then we're
avoid
settled
further
on that. We'll spend the night so that you can get your spells in order, or whatever you need to do. And we'll go tomorrow night, since we're flipped now for some reason. And get through the stairs, drink invisibility potions, and rush to the lake. Unless anyone else has any better plans. I would hope that it'd be quick enough that we could rush into the water, breathe long enough to grab Bloodward, and just get out.
Joven,
Yes.
can you see in the dark?
No. Not anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
I miss it.
I'm sure.
Kind of why I wanted to buy torches.
You're gonna put torches underwater.
No?
Oh, like general use torches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then it might be actually better for you to actually alter yourself into something that can see underwater.
I don't think aquatic adaptation does that. I can breathe and swim, but I can't see.
Maybe it would be good for us to get some rope.
For what?
Tie ourselves to those who can see. If something truly horrible does go on, we can always cut the rope. But otherwise, we'll have a line to each other. Or we could. Or not, regardless.
I don't have rope, but I have manacles.
You know, I think I'll
we
just
know.
risk... You know, Zon, I think I'll risk just stumbling through the dark.
I'm
and
just
then
saying,
manacle myself underwater.
you don't
That's
need to
something
actually shackle yourselves. You could just grab onto one end, another person grabs onto another, and we continue going on our way.
I forgot dark vision is a spell also. I can probably swap that for alter self. And then both of us can have dark vision.
You're gonna
And
like
then we
it.
don't have to be tied or shackled to anybody.
There you go.
Excellent.
Problem solved. If we're in agreement, then I think this works fine as our plan. We get in and get out quickly. We don't need to fight anything unless we have to.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay, wait,
Okay.
we'll only... Oh no, Joven can breathe underwater, it's fine.
Yes.
Never mind.
Yes, I
We don't have to
can.
worry about that.
I think I've gotten... Pretty sure I'll be able to do it just fine.
Alright. Then we are in agreement then, I guess. So, let's rest up and switch your spells, and then we can go first thing tomorrow night.
All right. So if that's the plan, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a time skip to where you guys are standing right in front of the doors. There does seem to be a cloth bag that's tied up in front of the doors with a little note on top of it.
I'll go read that note.
Cool. It says, to help another seeking the same. Dash, crooked teeth. And it has a stamp of a crow at the bottom of this note.
What's the bag then?
So when you open up the bag, it contains, let me go ahead and get this right here. It contains 4 greater healing potions and 2 supreme healing potions. And the cloth bag itself it seems to be a cloak of the manta ray.
You said 4 greater and what else?
4 greater, 2 supreme. Yeah.
All right. Well, looks like someone has it hid for us, not in the bad way.
That's a lot of gifts.
Do I realize this is a cloak of the manta ray, or do I just think it's a cloak?
No, I mean, everyone
kind of looks like one.
It, honestly, with you guys' background and upbringing, you would recognize it as a cloak of a manta ray. Joven, you kind of, when you notice it, you kind of get the same fuzzy feeling that you got when you were inside of your home, and you recognize it as a cloak of the manta ray.
The cloak of the manta ray. Wait, what? Ow.
Well, this does make it a bit easier. I don't know about you all, but this makes it much easier for me to move around, even with my disadvantages.
Yes, and with this cloak, so do we have enough water breathing to go around, or do we still need a
Well, we already did.
spell?
Now we just have an extra potion, I see. Just depends on who would like this cloak. I'm just saying it would help me out a lot, being able to move around way faster than I could just by normally being with my heavy armor. I was going to take it off, but I'd rather keep it on.
Our heaviest hitter can move underwater, so that's good.
Yep.
Yes.
Alright. Then I have no qualms, then I will start wearing this, and I'm going to attune to that.
I think it requires attunement.
I think
Pretty
you
sure the
just put
cloak
it
does,
on.
but... Can always
Nope,
look it up.
no attunement.
Yep,
Alright,
no
never
attunement.
mind then.
You can just put that sucker on.
Cool. Then I'm just gonna put it on over top of my armor.
Cool. So yeah, you put that on, and you guys are standing right in front of these big doors. They have the same heavy lock that you guys don't need. You guys know how to open that now, so no need to do the strength checks to open that up.
Sure. Is everybody ready then? Oh, I should dole out these healing potions too. Let's see. Everybody gets a greater then, since there's 4, and then just leaves the 2 supremes, whoever would like them. I would assume squishier of our 2 should probably take them, but it's up to you. If you can keep yourselves safe, I
I'll
can
take us.
hang on to them.
Well, with your movement, with your swimming with the cloak, it might be easy if you hold on to him and then move where you need it to.
That works as well.
All right.
We long rested, right?
Yes, you guys did.
Cool.
And we
Before
are still using the UA spellcaster, so.
Who would like this at the Supreme then? Because I don't really need both of them. I would assume.
Domicos is kind of a death magnet, no offense.
Then I will give it to Domicos. Everybody gets a greater, and then me and Domicos get a Supreme.
Excellent.
And then before we go in, I'm going to cast Dark Vision on Joven and then myself.
Excellent.
Cool.
So,
Morgan,
user.
if we drink the water breathing potions after we're already invisible, would that break the invisibility?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say drinking potions does not necessarily break invisibility because it's a movement that is very slight.
Cool. Once I cast this spell, we will have about, altogether, an hour of being invisible.
What? Me and
So,
Joven have a potion of
whenever-
invisibility as well. I'm not sure how long that'll last, but
Can
if we
also-
need to. And I'm not
I can
sure.
either-
Sorry, go ahead.
can either cover the casting to all of us and keep a lower slot with the potions available for the we need them, or we can keep the higher slot for later.
I'd rather the potions be more of a safety net and just in case thing. So, higher slot most likely is better. And then, if we run out of time, we can drink our potions and you and Ka can use the lower slot.
So,
Alright.
who's drinking a water breathing potion?
I'm gonna wait till we're by the water.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, fair enough.
And
Yep.
look
Make
at
me wait
Noodle.
for it.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at Noodle. All right. You are going to stay next to me at all times until we turn invisible, at which point I'm probably just gonna have to hold on to your shoulder or something.
Noodle is not paying attention. Noodle's
Hey.
eyes are like following a spider.
Hey! Squish his dragon head. Hey!
Do not do that.
He's already bitten me once. It's fine.
Sounds like a good way to lose a hand.
Squishy little dragon face. We're going to go down somewhere. I need you to stay by me. Okay? Yes?
He just meeps back.
Listen. If you stay with me for the entirety of this thing, I'm going to be invisible at some point, but I'm going to keep a hand on you. If you stay with me the entirety, I will give you another dagger, okay?
His tail thumps the ground twice.
Yeah? All right. But if you don't, you're not getting a dagger, okay? You have to stay with me.
He meeps out again.
All right. Cool. All right. Let's go into the dark.
Invisibility now.
I'll follow Zon's lead.
Done.
Let's wait till we get down closer to the bottom of these stairs.
Okay.
I don't want to be wasting our time walking down a very long, treacherous hallway. Or wherever we're going, tunnel. For the underwater to be right there.
Okay, cool. No, sorry, go ahead.
Let's just continue ahead until I see nothing but, or until there's actually a bottom to these stairs.
Fantastic. Then I need marching order.
Me.
Um, I guess I'll probably go third.
I can go last. I'm with Noodle.
All
I'll
right.
go second.
So you guys lift the heavy ironwood plank from its holding and set it to the side and push open the heavy doors and see the light half-heartedly spill out into the darkness of the stairs below. You guys carefully walk down the stairs. Are you just walking normally or trying to be stealthy?
Stealthy.
Go ahead and make stealth checks, please. You guys are doing great.
I rolled perfectly average, so can't blame me.
So you guys,
I also want to say that I'm not wearing my half plate. I gave that back to
Cool.
the bag of holding because we were going back to the fallen keep, and that might cause some issue.
Fair enough. So you guys, all head down there, and you get to the bottom of the stairs. You're not hearing much besides your own clothes, like softly rustling against each other, metal scraping against each other. And you guys do come out into this area. It looks to be, from what you guys can see, it looks to be like the small remains of a campfire and just a small room.
All right.
And yeah, we'll go ahead, just move normal movement speed, 30 feet at a time.
Sure. Now seems like a good time for invisibility.
All right, I cast invisibility at 5th level, so I can
Nice.
get everybody.
Including Noodle or no?
Nope, no Noodle.
Oh,
Noodle
no.
is not invisible.
Well, I can get Noodle, but someone has to be not invisible. So it's like, I don't know if we want an invisible Noodle running around though.
No, we have
Oh,
vials.
God.
We have the vials of invisibility, so
You know what? It's probably actually better for him not to be invisible, because once we're all invisible, we won't be able to see each other either. So, him being invisible will just lead to him running off in a direction, and you can't follow him. So, make us invisible. Kara, you need to handle Noodle somehow.
I'm just gonna put my hand like on Noodle's back somewhere to make sure he knows that I'm still there, even though he can't see me. He can probably smell me. It's fine. I've got a hand on Noodle.
So at the bottom of the stairs, it is sand.
Oh fuck.
Like it's no longer stone. It went from stone directly to like sand, almost like you were at a beachfront. You can smell the salt water. It's almost like sticking in the air. That's how thick the salt is.
Right, I'm just gonna keep moving up slowly.
Okay, cool. So, right there, when you get about there, that's when you notice that there are some torches lit, and you do see some fish people kind of like hanging around the sort of looping Jesus Christ, looping river that comes from deeper in the cave towards the larger port of water. You do also see huge stone spikes, like what are they? Like stalagmites sticking out of the water, and a ship seems to be almost pierced on them. There are two figures on the ship. Actually, no, there look to be more like three figures on the ship. And they seem to be fighting.
Can I hear what they're saying?
They're shouting in a language that you do not understand.
All right. I'm just gonna ignore it and move on ahead.
At this point, I'm going to go ahead and move everybody to join up with them. At
Yeah.
this point, let's go ahead, just to make it a lot easier. Let's clear this out. I forget that. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Question, Morgan. Because I cast invisibility, should we re-roll stealths?
If it gives a bonus,
It would give us
then,
advantage on stealth checks.
then yes.
I don't believe invisibility gives you advantage. It's just disadvantage on people perceiving you. As far as I remember.
I think it alters how the hide action to be a lot more effective. But yeah, basically.
Yeah, I misread that. Yeah. Just makes us harder to detect. Anyways.
I mean, it has another
Although-
benefit. What is this greater invisibility?
No. Greater is only one person.
Ah. I mean, as a benefit, they
I
have
could do.
disadvantage if they try to attack us. That's also really good.
Excellent. Okay, so let's do this.
Roll initiative.
Into the seaweed we go.
Awesome. Chris, I am taking all of your bad rolls right now. It's fine.
I've rolled one bad roll tonight, so I don't know what's about to happen.
It's not going to be great.
I would hope so, but who the fuck knows?
Have these not
I'm
been
just-
saving? Fuck.
I'm just gonna keep moving up.
Hold on 1 second. It's not your turn yet. 1 second.
I'm first. Well, technically I'm not,
The-
but close enough. Jesus, we rolled
Sorry.
crazy initiative.
Okay. Yeah, you guys, Jesus. You guys did.
Namako's clear at the bottom. It's fine.
I'm sure if you had rolled at the same time as the rest of us, you would have been up there too.
I highly doubt it. With our roll
John-
20.
Jesus Christ.
All this means is that we take an enemy sandwich. Really.
Okay.
All this means is I keep my invisibility up for longer than you guys.
Cool. Top of the round, it is Joven.
Okay. So is this cave dark enough that dark vision would make
Dark
a
vision-
difference?
Dark Vision is helping out. The torches seem to be more ceremonial rather than for actual light placement.
Can I try and just seems like there's a gathering of these Kuoto, and is the boat and everything still visible?
Yeah, the boat and everything is still visible.
Hmm. I think I am going to take the hide action so that I can just get a lot more invisible,
Okay.
even more stealthy than before. And then just I can't see them, can I?
No, you cannot see your party members.
Oh no. This is
I mean, we are leaving tracks in the sand, most likely.
I'm gonna try and just hold myself till I see destruction in the sand. To get a good idea of where everyone else is.
Okay. So you spend your turn taking the hide action and waiting. Fair
Yep.
enough. Zahn, it is your turn.
I just want to quickly look around, see if there's anything popping out. Just complete lay of the land as far as I can tell about either what's happening or maybe there's a storage place that they might be keeping these herbs if they actually pick these herbs, or something to look for instead of just hopping in the water where they're all focused on right now.
Cool. Make a perception check.
Sure. Not at disadvantage, but that 10 will be the one that I rolled.
Cool. So you're a little bit distracted by the sounds of conflict. So the two figures on the boat are throwing spells at each other, and the fish people, some of which are shorter, some of which are taller with multiple arms, they seem to be cheering on the battle.
All right.
You do notice that there's also a collection of boats that are over here, and what look to be just sort of some strips of lumber that are kind of scattered throughout the sandy bottom of the cave.
All right. If I quickly go over here, does the bottom of is the water see-through, or is it murky?
It's a little murky. You can tell that it's as murky as sandy saltwater can be.
Okay.
Not necessarily clear.
Okay. Does it look like plant life is growing out of the bottom of this riverbed, or is it just all sand in this spot?
No, it looks to be mostly sand and silt.
Okay. And these are stalactites, like you said?
The ones in the water?
No, these ones on the ground here.
Oh yeah, those are stalagmites made of. They don't seem to be natural. They seem to be more made. One of these creatures has made these giant pillars in the sand.
All right. Well, I am going to attempt to sneak past these guys.
Cool. What was your stealth? 10s?
Not good. But I'm invisible, so maybe that can... I don't know.
You almost effortlessly seem to sneak by these guys. They seem to be way too preoccupied in this fight to be paying attention to what's going on.
As I'm just passing by this one that I'm passing by, is there anything that looks out of the ordinary with this whole extra space back here, or is it just a weird spot?
It does look like there is a collection of barrels. On your brief walk by, you do see a brief collection of barrels, but you'd have to go inside the room to see if there's anything more.
Okay. Well, that's all the movement I got, so I can't really do anything else.
Cool. End of your turn?
Yep.
Kara, it's your turn.
Can I bring Noodle around so that he's tucked into this little corner instead, against a wall?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Right. I just want to make sure he's relatively out of sight. I don't know where anybody fucking is. But I'm gonna get down to Noodle's level and go very quietly go shh, and then attempt to sneak along the wall with him.
Cool. So he's actually going to take his turn after yours.
I don't want to leave him. You're going to wait until it's his turn to move him.
Okay.
Scoop the Noodle.
These things are happening technically all at the same time. So if you were to move now, and he would be moving technically at the same time.
Okay. I'm I'm gonna get up over here, actually. Right here.
Cool.
Oh, fucking hell. That's the ruler. That's not. Right here.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah. Sorry, I tried my best. These things are so off. It looks like I tried my best.
It's fine.
End of your turn.
Yep. And bring
Cool.
Noodle.
Noodle is going to come over. Excellent. And let me just take a quick look at this. He is going to be trying to be sneaky. Okay. Let me just check something real quick. I have to double check their passive perception. So, as Noodle is walking, he does step on some wooden planks, and they break. And these 3 Quotoa over here all start to turn, and they see the dragon, and their mouths drop. End of Noodle's turn. Tarek is going to shout something. And where is he? And he is going to go ahead and jump over the side and submerge into the water. This thing is going to kind of slither forwards. Where the fuck did it go? I have 40 things open at once. It is going to go ahead and turn around, and actually it's going to also jump into the water and start to slither towards shore. All right. And these guys are just going to be standing around cheering on. Damakos. These Quotoa they are looking directly at Noodle, and they do look extremely surprised.
Cool. I am going to use my action to attempt to hide a little better.
You're going to use the hide action?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
Reroll that stealth check, right?
Does invisibility give you the ability to reroll
No,
stealth?
I'm taking the hide action, so but whatever. And then I am going
Hold on 1
to.
second.
Why can't I select
Let me double check.
my token?
It just says invisible. It doesn't say anything about.
Okay, so I'm trying to be a little extra sneaky, and
Cool.
then I'm going to move up Zon. Well, where I'm following Zon's footprints, or whoever's footprints I'm following footprints.
Okay. They do seem a little bit more distracted by the dragon. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Cool. So this Quotoa is immediately going to start chirping out something. And it's going to run over here. This one, like all the Quotoas start chirping out an alarm, and they all seem to be running towards the larger multiple armed fish people. Damakos, you do have an attack of opportunity on one if you'd like to take it.
Nope.
Cool.
Nope.
Top of the round, Jovan.
Oh boy. So I was hanging back, just looking where whatever sand disruptions there might be, but Oh boy. How far can I move? So let's just see. I'm gonna move, I guess, 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna try and get over here. I think that's the maximum movement I have.
Okay.
And I'm going to hope that Kara can get Noodle out of there, but if she can't, um, damn it! If I hold to attack and I attack, that breaks my invisibility.
Yep.
I'm going to use my action to try and look around to see if there's anywhere like any of the flower we're looking for nearby.
Make a quick perception check. You don't see the flower. You don't see any bloodwort nearby.
Okay.
Although you do know from general readings in nature, bloodwort does grow usually underwater.
I was really hoping it was low tide and we'd get lucky. All right. Well, that's it for me.
Cool. So next up, Zon.
Hood of the Match is going up, and I'm going underwater.
Cool.
I'll go to 30 feet, and then possibly dash if I don't see it anywhere.
So you go to 30 feet, and it's kind of like at this point the water does drop suddenly up to your waist, but it does look like at that point it does go into like kind of a gradual decline. As of right now, it's difficult terrain because you're not really swimming. You're running through waist high water.
Okay, then I'm going to dash the final 15 and most likely get the rest of the way under the water.
Cool. Yes, you are underwater, and you do see a mer person who looks like they are suffering pretty badly. They're pretty fucked up.
All right.
Cool. End of your turn?
Yep, can't do anything else.
Kara, it is your turn.
Sorry, just plotting. How deep does the water look right about here?
Doesn't look deep at all. Maybe up to your shins, if that.
Can I insight check them to see if it's like, holy shit, intruders, or like, holy shit, creature we've never seen before?
Yeah, sure. That'll be your action, though.
That's fine.
Go ahead. It's holy shit intruders. They seemed extremely panicked and don't really seem like, oh, new discovery. It's we need to get rid of this thing.
Oh. And then I'm gonna bring Noodle with me, I guess. To just about. Oh fuck. Nope.
Yeah, it's bad.
I think it's right about here, and like
Cool.
put him back here if I can.
Sure. So on his turn, he's going to go right back there and do nothing else because he hasn't been ordered. So on Tarek's turn, this mer person is going to go ahead and swim up to you and kind of do a gesture like he's going to act like he's wrapping his arm and gesture over to his like the side of his body.
Like can he actually see me? Is that basically what I'm giving you just a bit?
Sorry, no, you're right. You're still fucking invisible. Never mind. Yeah, no. So he is. Never mind. Not going to do that. He is going to start grabbing like seaweed and stuff from the ground and start making wraps. Let's go ahead and see how well he is. Hey, he makes a decent enough wrap and wraps around himself and manages to stop the bleeding. Excellent. And then he's going to very, very quietly kind of start to swim after this snake which at this point you do see is a very, very large snake with 2 heads. Both heads are in the shape of a human woman's head. And that's going to go ahead and swim about up to here. And it's going to dash to make it onto the shore, where it's going to start speaking in very calm, very soothing tones to these smaller fish people. All right, and these guys are going to go ahead. This guy's going to jump in and start swimming towards the shore. These guys are going to rush over, and they're going to be holding up their tridents and kind of like very defensively hold themselves in place. And Damikos, it is your turn.
I'm going to move along the shore up to the water's edge. 30 feet
Okay.
of movement. You know how hard it is to resist fireballing the group of people right there?
Oh no, is it hard to resist fireballing? The group's set up for a fireball? Do it.
We're trying to be stealth mission. We did discuss that. So I'm gonna drink the water breathing potion.
Cool. So you drink the water breathing potion, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw to not
Awesome.
yell out in pain.
Oh, this is a literal water breathing potion, not like the spell. Awesome. Awesome.
Cool. So you manage to bite back your yell of pain as gills tear themselves free of your neck, and you now have both the ability to breathe air and water for the next 24 hours, but you take 5 points of slashing damage as you do so.
Cool.
No wonder they were
All right.
cheap.
And I'm guessing the potion was my action, so I'm done.
No,
So
actually, drinking a potion is a bonus action.
bonus action? Cool. I'm
Yeah.
getting in the water.
Cool.
I'm swimming down also, so I'm
Cool. You also see the mer person who, the mer person whose legs seem to be shifting back into a tail. All right, end of your turn.
Yep.
All right, the Quotoa are going to be chattering with this two-headed snake, and the two-headed snake's going to be chattering back to them in soothing tones, while one head is looking directly at Noodle. Joven, it is your turn.
This is a rough spot. I don't want to leave Kara with Noodle out here exposed. Can I see Noodle from where I am?
No, Noodle is behind a rock.
Going to try and just move over to the shoreline.
Okay.
Look to see if Kara might have gotten in the water. Or if I can see Noodle.
If you'd like to make a perception check, you can. You can see Noodle.
Okay. Can I try and just assume that Kara is near Noodle?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, you don't really see them apart. It'd be easy to assume that they're together.
Yep. I'm going to move here and then try to feel if Kara's there. In front of me. I don't think that breaks invisibility. If it does, then I won't do that.
You definitely bump into her, and Kara, you are bumped into out of nowhere. You're muted. Oh, wait. Are you...
No.
No,
What's your-
I'm just whispering.
I'm gonna try and whisper as best I can. Is that you need to move now. They're looking right now.
I'm trying.
At end of your turn?
Um. Oh, I'm gonna use the last of my field movement to go in the water there.
Cool. All right. End of your... Excellent. Zon, it's your turn.
Searching for some red plants.
You don't see any bloodwort near you. It looks like you're going to have to go deeper into the Undersea in order to find it.
That's what I'm doing then.
Cool. Go ahead and move your move.
I can move 60 feet, so I assume I'm going way off the map.
Excellent. And Zon is off the map. Yeah, that's fine. All right. End of your turn?
Yep, if there's nothing near me, I'm just gonna continue swimming until... Well, I'm gonna dash then, if it's not within my sight.
Right now, it's all like broken ships. You're seeing like what look to be like rowboats that have been like half of rowboats look to have been either broken or worse in half. Bones. You're not really seeing any like space that would be good for a plant to grow in, even something named bloodwort.
All right, well, I moved 120 feet deeper into this lake.
Cool. All right. So, Kara, it is your turn.
I am moving to get, I think, yeah, right about here. And then as soon as Noodle is in the water with me, I'm going to cast Polymorph and turn him into a dolphin.
All right. So, end of your turn. Noodle's going to come in the water. And now a dolphin.
Just reassuringly tell him, we're going to go searching for a plant real deep, okay? But I'm going to stay with you.
Noodle go? Is Noodle still on the map?
No.
He's underneath Kara.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Okay. There we go. Thank you. All right. So now Noodle is a dolphin. Tarek is going to continue swimming forward. Just kind of like sneaking up on this group, unaware of everyone. Actually,
I don't think I'm invisible anymore.
No, you are not invisible because of casting a spell. So I'm going to take that off.
I've got my boy. I am good.
So actually, Tarek, seeing you and Noodle, is going to swim a little bit closer to you, kind of like breaching the water a little bit. As you guys are standing in about waist-high water with Noodle's fin sticking out.
Oh,
He's going to say something to you in a language you don't understand.
Shit. I don't understand what they're saying.
Oh, that is okay. How did you get down here?
Very quietly. And
That
with
is
invisibility. So
that is very wise. Is it just you and your dolphin?
no. We're actually here on the little gathering mission, but it seems like we interrupted something.
Yes, the Devourers group is very, very evil. They're not good. I'm trying to wipe out their followers.
just by yourself?
Yes.
Or is that
Although I think that is not so smart. I've been hurt pretty bad. Was not expecting them to be so strong.
oh fucking hell? What do you mean my battery's running low? Sorry, I guess my my charger came unplugged.
And that's all the back and forth that can be allotted during that turn. So this two-headed snake is going to start. Now both heads are going to start looking around. And they're going to notice some ripples in the water near Joven. Although it doesn't move. This guy is just going to go ahead and finish up onto the shore. And then Domikos, it is your turn.
Okay, question. I'm like
Yes.
right there, invisible.
Yes, you are.
Did I hear the conversation happen?
Oh, yeah, you have.
All right. So using I wonder if talking would break. I don't think talking would break invisibility.
No, talking isn't an action, so it wouldn't break it.
I'm going to talk to the mer person. And first I'm going to open with, do not be alarmed. One of her allies is like right here.
This is like the fucking do not be afraid.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I could have taken that a step further and done the awakened mind.
So the
And
so when you say this, the mer person is going to kind of like freeze up and go, can you breathe in the water? I think she is trying to trick us.
yes, I can breathe in the water.
Well, he's actually talking to the only person he can see,
Oh,
which is Kara. But
You fixed
Kara, you
that
have to
for real.
respond. You have to respond on your turn. Domikos, he seems to be more worried
concerned.
by you. Yeah, he seems to be thinking that this is something, presumably, the two-headed snake is doing.
Fine. Awakened mind feature. I am now going to talk with him straight into his mind and say, this is the dolphin. Take my person to the blood root or whatever it's called.
I need you to throw a persuasion check. No, throw a deception check. There we go.
Nice.
He's gonna look at the dolphin, kind of do a small nod. All right, end of your turn.
That was probably my action to do that. So yes.
Yeah. Cool. The Quotoa are still going to be chattering amongst themselves. Joven, it is your turn.
I don't know if they noticed it, the noodle becoming a dolphin or not.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So that bone naga looks like it can swim, right?
It's not a bone naga. It's a
Not
two-headed. Yeah,
it's a two-headed snake with human heads,
yes,
and it can swim.
presumably.
Time to do something very risky, because I don't know how deep this water actually is. Time to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Time to go 6 spaces
So you're actually like at where you're at, the water's about like it gets to about your knees. So about right here, it turns into difficult terrain.
Ah. Oh boy. Gonna take the dash action, try to get as deep as I can. Just like, I guess 5, 10, 15? How
Okay.
deep is that?
You're about up to your chest right now.
Oh, that's not great. And wait, up to my chest. Can I go prone
Yeah.
and just
You're now
duck under the water?
underwater. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's just, I figure, draw attention away from where I saw the noodle going.
Cool.
They can't see me yet.
Okay, excellent. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
All right, Zon, it is your turn. Still swimming?
I'm gonna go 60 feet, and then does it even look reasonable for plant life to be growing where I'm looking?
There's less ship debris. You're starting to notice more seaweed and more actual plant, like underwater plant life, but you're not noticing any bloodwort.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna go my full 120 feet and try to see if I can get to where the bloodwort is.
Cool. So, Kara.
I can respond to them now, right?
Yes.
I can fix that real quick, and I'm gonna cast Alter Self because I don't freaking trust anything Eric makes. I'll save it for a later date. We probably will need it for something. I'm gonna cast Alter Self for aquatic adaptation, and then like scoot a little bit farther under the water with
Sure.
Noodle. I was trying to move Noodle and I couldn't.
Right.
So
I'll
that's
control
not
Noodle.
my character.
Yeah, you don't want to. Over here is more shallow water. You want to be swimming out more towards here.
Okay. Could we get through this little gap right here?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go that way with Noodle.
All right. Go ahead and move your character. And then end of your turn, Noodle is going to follow as a dolphin. And then Tarak is going to be swimming alongside you guys saying, your dolphin told me to show you. You said you want bloodwort. Yes? I will show you. Follow me. And he starts to swim rapidly through the water, his tail beating the water behind him.
Oh. Guess I'll follow him.
Cool.
Wherever we go.
So this thing is going to follow the splashing and then hiss something out in a language that none of you quite understand. And these guys are going to all jump into the water. And Damokos, it is your turn.
How clear is this water?
It's a little murky. There's a lot of ship
Murky,
debris,
okay.
but you
So-
are able to see like at least the fuck. I want to say drift. I know that's not the right word, but the bubbles being sent behind by the mer person swimming quickly.
Okay. How far under the surface am I?
You're not very far, maybe a couple feet.
Okay.
Yes, the wake. Thank you.
Like, I'm going to just kind of like swim up a little bit and take a look. And I'm guessing I can tell like the focus of this is like in that direction
Yes.
Possibly, yeah. Do I see any of the previous movement ripples from?
You mean the huge splashes Jovan was doing as he was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. In that case, and if I just put my head like just back under the water, I can't see enough to this section over here, right?
Yeah, there's too much in the way. You wouldn't be able to see the exactly what they're doing. Especially since there are now figures moving and that's pulling up all the silt and sand into the water, so it's kind of like
Okay. Do I break my invisibility and help Jovan?
blood magic fireball.
Fireball.
It's very tempting, but it puts everyone at risk of losing invisibility too. If I blood magic fireball.
They can take it. Zon gets noticed by 30 sharks at once.
Right?
Oh, I forgot to
Okay,
share the
let's do this.
hold on, let me go ahead and share Tarek with you guys.
Okay.
This dude's cool looking.
Okay, let's do it. 2 sorcery points, quickening. Hold on, let me double check distances real quick. Fine. I move 5 feet closer. Swim a little closer. I quicken Black Goat's Blessing on the main person.
Okay.
And then I am going to regular fireball at 4th level.
All right. Throw how many all of them are affected by that, right?
Yes. Well, not on Black Goat's Blessing, but they're definitely all in the radius of fireball.
Okay, so that's a fail for the Crown Naga. And then that's Jesus. What's the spell save DC?
17.
Okay. So
It's a
far, no
dex.
one's passed. Oh my god. I need to get ocean dice. I literally could not roll above a 5. Except for the Naga, which rolled a 20 and then a 5. So go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
Fuck.
The best part is I'm still concentrating on invisibility for everyone else. So that is going to be Jesus, 96.
Jesus. Well, let me check something really quick. Yeah, the stop it. Everything except for the Crown Naga dies. Just burns up.
Incinerate.
And the Crown Naga looks surprised and then angry.
And then I am going back under the water. And swimming, following.
Oh, yeah, you're no longer invisible either. Well, I'll take
following
these guys
that
out.
direction. And I know for a fact whoever was in that area leaving the splashing saw the fireball.
Yeah. All right, end of your turn.
Yep.
Cool. Joven,
So
everything's on fire.
yeah, I was
You
just
heard the
under the water.
explosion?
I just saw a little wisp of light fly overhead, and then a big old cloud overhead. Just gurgle out, just goes. And can I see around me right now under the water? Like, how far can I see?
There's a lot of silt, so it's obstructing your vision, so you can only see half as far. You can see to about right here.
Can I see that there's looks like a large structure?
You know that's the boat
Yeah.
that you saw earlier.
Can I see the boat?
Yeah, you can see the boat.
I'm gonna try and swim over to the boat.
Okay.
Maybe that's 15. Am I still in difficult terrain?
No, you're not. You're in regular water, so use your swim speed.
Okay. Could it go like this? I'm gonna go like that.
You're now seeing Damokos, a merperson, a dolphin, and Kara.
Oh boy. I'm gonna take the dash action so that I can swim like here. And I'm kind of just hiding it a little bit, like tucking myself behind this thing so that I can not get spotted by that
Cool.
as best to my ability.
End of your turn?
Yes.
All right. Zon, you still going forward? Or are you waiting, hooking back with the
I
team?
mean, I'm out of range, I think, at this point to even see anyone behind me. I'm like over 180 feet away from them.
Yeah.
So-
is there a range limit on invisibility or no?
No, it's just I am concentrating on it for up to an hour.
Cool.
So, like, even though I lost my invisibility from casting a spell, everyone else is still invisible who has it.
Cool. Cool.
So I might stop for a second and look back and see no one there and just keep going to try to get out of here as quickly as possible.
You don't see anyone, including Noodle. You don't see Noodle, and the plan was for Noodle to become a dolphin. Take that as you will.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna keep looking. So
Cool. Another 120?
well, I'll go 60, see if anything's around, any sign of Blood Ward, and then if not, I'll go 120.
Cool. Then you go 120. Kara, it's your turn.
I'm telling Noodle that we're gonna follow the very nice. Would I know what a mer person is?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna tell Noodle we're gonna follow the nice mer person, follow their lead because they're gonna lead us to the plant that we're looking for, and then I'm gonna ask our new mer friend, what is the Devourer?
Oh, the Devourer is not nice. It is terrifying. I've not seen it. No, but it is supposed to be huge with lots of teeth.
Lots of teeth, like the stalagmites on the bottom of this goddamn cave.
Oh, those are rocks. Those are not teeth.
Oh no, that was not in here.
Oh, okay.
That was not okay. Sorry. But otherwise, I'm gonna wait until he moves to like follow after him because I don't know where the fuck I'm going.
Cool. So then, since you guys are all next, you guys swim off map. The Crown Naga is gonna flounder in the water a little bit, and then kind of like retreat out, like retreat further into the cave. Damokos, I assume you're following.
Yeah.
Okay. And Joven, you're seeing the whole group swimming away. You are muted, my friend.
Doesn't look like the bone naga is giving chase.
You don't see her,
Sorry. Nah,
and
I keep
there's
calling it a bone naga stuff.
and
I
there's
killed.
too much silt in the water for you to like in the back, and now there's a bunch of fucking ash in the water. So
Well, I
can't
don't want to.
do it.
I'll follow.
Cool. So, yeah, you guys easily make it out of this encounter. Tarek introduces himself as Tarek Sightshare. He is the apprentice shaman of his tribe, and he went out to try and slay this Naga and the Swahagan and the Kotoa because they are some of the last remnants of the followers of the Devourer. He mentioned that they do have a tendency to sacrifice themselves if they can't find a suitable sacrifice. In that sense, the Naga is still alive. She'll most likely find other followers, other Quotoa and Swahagan that live in the caves, but he doesn't really seem to be too worried about that.
As he says that, I'll tell him I just incinerated like all the ones that were up there except for the Naga.
He's gonna nod and go, "Good job." There are a lot more than just those, though.
Well, of course.
He's gonna explain that normally he'd bring you to his tribe, but they've kind of in a big battle, and he doesn't want to just surprise everyone with a bunch of outsiders. So he'll just bring you over to the Bloodwort as soon as possible. And as he's following, I'm assuming you're still going at the same pace as on.
Yeah.
Cool. After about a good 30 minutes of swimming, how do I get it to one person can see the map?
You see down at the bottom left where our names are?
Yes.
You can drag the little 3 lines of just my name up towards the map, and it'll put only me on it.
Wait, bottom left where the 3 names are?
Yeah, where the names are at the bottom of the page. If you scroll over to my name, there should be like 3 lines on the. If you scroll over it, you can drag just my name up to the map in your little map bar.
Oh, okay. Let me see it. Cool. So you are seeing this.
Okay.
And you do find in the middle, right around here, there are some. Oh, let me actually put your character on there. Oops. You do see in the middle that there is some groupings of what look to be red seaweed that you recognize to be bloodwort.
Okay. Is there anything else around me?
Make a perception check.
Because I have no idea how long this spell lasts, even though I can still tell I'm invisible. Fuck.
You do not see anything. And so you do see that bloodwort there. We're going to hop back to the other part of the party. Tarek is explaining about how bloodwort is good for healing, but it's difficult to find because it requires the site of a massacre. And he mentions that's one of the good things about the Cult of the Devourer, because they offer so many sacrifices that there is one part of the map that is like one part of the Undersea that is really good for finding bloodwort. The only issue is the Devourer hangs around it a lot. And we're going to hop back to Zahn.
Once an hour passes, Morgan, whenever that happens.
Cool.
Everyone is now visible.
Cool. It'll be about 50. It'll be about 15 more minutes before you guys can catch up to Zahn. He had a good head start.
Thanks for dropping all that information. All by myself.
No one told you to swim ahead.
I'm invisible, and I don't see anything, so I'm going in the middle and trying to pick that bloodwort quickly.
Cool. So you're actually in a huge field of bloodwort, and you don't. What's your passive perception?
It's not great, but I don't remember. Hold on. 11.
Cool. So, Let me just pull this up right here. So as you're picking this bloodwort, you're starting to get an ominous feeling. But when you look up, you're noticing just a fuck ton of like broken boats scattered around, bones just scattered around. But I mean, the plant's name is bloodwort. Can't really expect to find it in a peaceful spot. You gonna go back to harvesting?
I mean, I'm picking like 3 big handfuls of it, throwing it in my bag, and then I'm booking it. So
Cool. So, as you are booking it, like you grab it and you shove it in the bag of holding along with a fuck ton of water, and that's when you do look up. And you see that kind of almost lazily swimming towards you. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you guys so much for joining us on another week of FetchQuest. Remember, Black Lives Matter. Stop ignoring. We need to help out more. And we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.